Welcome to the Acropolis rally. This is the final day of what's been a rough, tough and very hotly contested event. Marcus Grönholm claimed the lead on the opening day and then produced a big performance on leg 2 to extend his advantage. But he was pushed all the way and it wasn't without the odd moment. Nevertheless, the Finn won both 48-kilometre stages yesterday and with it took a huge step towards victory. Sebastian Loeb started quietly after the disappointment of Sardinia. By the end of day 1, he was only 4th. But on the following day came the usual low push. But on the second run through the long stage, 2 punctures cost him over 30 seconds and probably the chance of a win.
8 kilometers like this. Since 8 kilometers, I feel it's finished. I try to go very slowly to go to the end, not to have to change. I lost a lot of time.
Petter Solberg started brightly, finishing the opening day 2nd. But a broken damper on the second run through the long stage cost him time as well as his 2nd place. He starts today in 3rd, 24 seconds behind Loeb.
Yeah. Our damper broken in the middle of the stage. There's no damping.
Chris Atkinson made it a great first day for Subaru, actually leading the event for 4 stages. But he too came unstuck on the long stage yesterday with 2 punctures, losing him almost 2 minutes. He also came close to total disaster on stage 16. He starts in 6th. Mikko Hirvonen struggled on day 1, battling with Citroen's Danny Sordo for 5th spot. He too found trouble in the 48-kilometre stage and was lucky only to lose time with this foray into the undergrowth. He starts today 4th. Danny Sordo in the 2nd Citroen had another good start to the rally, even leading his teammate. But Gearbox Gremlins on stage 12 forced him to retire. He will restart today. So after 2 of the most competitive days rallying for years, Grönholm's lead is 43 seconds. Loeb is 24 ahead of Petter Solberg in 3rd. Hirvonen's 4th, 37 seconds ahead of Henning Solberg in 5th. There's 4 stages and a super special to go, making up 79 competitive kilometres. This will probably be some of the fastest of the 3 days here in Greece, which could easily lead to some mistakes. On to the final day's action, and to get us underway, the longest stage of the leg, the 20 kilometres of Avlonis. And here's 8th place Manfred Stoll. After stopping to change a puncture yesterday afternoon, the Austrian slipped behind Jan Kopecky, so it's become another frustrating event for Manfred. No sign of another podium finish for the OMV driver so far this season, but he'll no doubt expect improvement in the second half of the year. Jan Kopecky's on course for his 3rd point-scoring finish of 2007. The Czech driver in his privately entered Skoda only has a limited program this year, so it's vital he makes the most of these opportunities. Jan's a little slower than Stoll in stage 18, but he still has a comfortable advantage in 7th. It's been a promising, if ultimately frustrating weekend for Chris Atkinson and Subaru. The Australian led the rally briefly on Friday afternoon, but the bruising 48-kilometre Agi Theodori stage ended any hope he had of challenging for a podium place. Perhaps unwilling to risk another non-finish, Chris is opting for a cautious approach through stage 18. We've seen a composed and controlled performance from Henning Solberg this weekend. He's not been the quickest guy around, but he has kept himself out of trouble and is currently running 5th, over 2 minutes ahead of Chris Atkinson. Petter Solberg, meanwhile, is about to begin the stage. The Norwegian's away, and we'll have to wait and see if we'll witness one of Petter's famous charges this morning. If he can maintain the searing pace he's shown already this weekend, he could still make a last gasp bid for second.
Line into 4, left minus half long, tightens 1, tightens half long.
A bit of a kick at the rear of Mikko Hirvonen's car there. After the rough and often twisty roads used yesterday, the stages this morning are really fast, so we can expect some spectacular action to conclude the weekend. Again, unable to match the pace of the leaders, Mikko's settled himself into a comfortable 4th place, the Finn's 3rd fastest on this stage. While teammate Marcus Gronholm will hope the hard work is behind him. He's on course for a 2nd successive win. He's on his way into stage 18 then, and just under 80 kilometers now stand between himself and victory. Sebastian Loeb begins the final leg over 43 seconds behind Marcus. And as was the case in Italy, he's going to lose ground to the Finn in the Drivers' Championship if nothing changes. It's vital he at the very least secures second. He can't afford any more costly slip-ups after his retirement in Sardinia. Loeb also has the concern of a revitalised Petter Solberg chasing from behind. Were it not for a broken damper yesterday afternoon, the Subaru driver was proving more than a match for the world champion over the first 2 days. As it is, though, Petter has 24.3 seconds to make up to regain second place. No easy task with Citroen's #1 ahead. And Loeb is now approaching the end of the stage, so we'll soon know if we have a fight on our hands for the runner-up spot. There's not long to go now, and I think this is looking good for Seb. He's going to destroy Petter's time right on the limit to the finish. A fantastic start for Seb, 18.3 seconds better than Solberg's effort, and that could have secured second place already. Gronholm's looked comfortable on these fast-flowing stages this morning. The Finn excels in such conditions. He has, of course, been able to drive to Loeb's split time, so he's unlikely to lose much time. But as he pushes through the last stretch, he's going to be slower. Yes, second fastest, but 6.1 seconds lost to Loeb. His lead, though, still formidable.
Marcus, a little bit slower than Sebastian, but you'll be just driving to his splits, just keeping him in check?
Yeah, okay, I start very slowly and then I have to a little bit speed up, but okay, still a long way to go.
So no change in the top 8 positions after the opening stage of day 3. Gronholm's lead now 37.2 seconds, while Solberg slipped back. He's now 42.6 seconds behind Loeb. All other places look reasonably secure. The Flying Finn is just 4 stages away from glory. Day 3 of the Acropolis rally continues after the break. Welcome back to the final day of the Acropolis rally, where Marcus Gronholm's edging ever closer to a second successive win in Greece. Sebastian Loeb still second, with Petter Solberg third. Chris Atkinson's into stage 19, and he really has backed right off this morning. As you saw earlier, he came to rest on the edge of a very steep bank yesterday afternoon, and that scare has perhaps served as a reminder that he needs to get the Impreza to the finish.
Down 3 left.
After the searing pace the Subarus were setting on Friday, it's a slightly disappointing start to Sunday, as for some reason they can't seem to find the sweet spot with the setup. Solberg too is off the pace this morning.
4 tightens.
Again, on stage 19, Petter's struggling to match the speed of the leading pair.
33 left half long, tightens 2 half long, 2 right half long, opens long, keep in of a crest, and 4 left plus half long, tightens.
Loeb, meanwhile, had begun to make inroads into the leader's advantage on the first stage this morning. It's unlikely even the 3-times world champion can claw back over half a minute on just 3 stages, but crucially, he needs to keep up the pressure on Gronholm. Marcus, though, doesn't look unduly concerned. The Acropolis stage is one of the new additions in Greece for this season, and it certainly looks like it could be a popular stretch of road. This is tremendously fast, and Gronholm's taking full advantage. A chance here to monitor the Ford Focus's telemetry. Up through the gears and almost completely flat out now. Over 150 kilometers an hour on a dusty gravel road. Spectacular stuff from the 2-time world champion. Back with Loeb now, and he's still giving it everything himself. But has Petter Solberg been able to make up any time on the Citroën driver? Not long till the finish boards now. Seb's going to be much faster again. Yes, Solberg really has been unable or unwilling to match Loeb's speed this morning. Nearly 15 seconds more gone. That's surely the end of his hopes of regaining second now. Gronholm not far behind, and the Finn is launching his Focus hard into every bend. He doesn't need to push, but after losing that stage earlier to Sebastian, he seems determined to remind the Frenchman who's in control here. Last few corners coming up is going to be tight, but I think he could beat Loeb here. Yes, 2.1 seconds quicker. His lead now 39.3. The status quo continues then after stage 19. Gronholm maintaining his lead of close to 40 seconds ahead of Loeb, while Solberg looks as though he'll have to settle for third. But first, there's time for one final service.
Petter, what happened to that final last day charge?
Nothing. Just driving, keeping steady pace, keep my third place. It's a lot of Japanese top houses here, and it would have been difficult to take half a minute out of Loeb anyway.
Is the plan to keep Marcus on the edge and hope he makes a mistake like maybe you did in Sardinia?
No, because I don't want to make a mistake myself, so I prefer. Now it's too late. The gap is too important, so even if I push, he can be 5 or nearly 10 seconds slower than me in the stages, and he would still win, so there's no reason to do it.
After what happened to Sebastian in Sardinia, have you changed your approach to how you rally on day 3?
No, not really. Always trying to concentrate, and so no, I have not changed.
And how are you going to feel about winning this event?
I don't know yet. We have to first win it.
No stage 20, which was cancelled before the event started, so the crews head to 21 and 22. Mikko Hirvonen hoped to push on to challenge the times of Gronholm and Loeb this weekend. It's not quite happened for the Finn, but ever the team player, he's again on course to bring home good points for Ford. With Sordo outside the point-scoring places, it's looking like another good weekend for the Blue Oval in their efforts to maintain the manufacturer's title. Mikko's fastest on stage 21. It's been a disappointing final day so far, though, for Petter Solberg. We just heard that Petter never planned to attempt to challenge Seb for second. Instead, he's been concentrating on consolidating third. On stage 21, he does beat Loeb, but only makes up 2.3 seconds.
Keep right of a small crest and 6 left plus long, tightens narrow into flat, 6 right plus of a crest, half long, tightens keep very in, 6.
The early star of Sardinia, Jari-Matti Latvala, has had a frustrating time in Greece. Only quick in sporadic bursts. He had a nightmare with punctures yesterday and has begun stage 21 in 13th. He's fastest, though, in stage 22 and moves up to 12th. As for Sebastian Loeb, who's running second, the first half of the season hasn't quite gone to plan. He's usually topping the table and pulling away at this stage. Instead, there'll be no let-up as the WRC heads for the business end of the season. That said, these have been the first 8 rallies for an entirely new car, and it's clearly competitive on every surface. Seb and Citroën will come back battling in August. But Marcus Grönholm's set to be the hero of the first part of 2007. He's on his way to his 3rd win of the season and a very respectable lead in the driver's title race. If it finishes like this, he'll have a 9-point advantage over Seb. It's the 10th time he's tackled this event. Both wins have come in the focus. He and this reliable car make a great partnership. Just the super special stage to go now. Grönholm's lead is 38.5 seconds, while behind the front-runners, Chris Atkinson, Jan Kopecky and Manfred Stoll are still occupying the final point-scoring places. It should be a victory parade for Grönholm around the Hippodrome spectator stage after the break. Stay with us for the Ford celebrations. Welcome back to Greece for the Acropolis rally. The final super special stage is about to get underway, but first an update from the runners further down the order. Matthew Wilson has had an eventful but character-building event. A multitude of problems see the young Brit languishing down in 10th.
Right 4 plus, so max crest 50, right 4 blue.
One place ahead is compatriot Guy Wilkes. Staying ahead of Wilson is a notable achievement for the long-time junior championship competitor. This is just his 3rd start and first finish in a World Rally car in an international rally. Wilson has had 26. It's looking like a memorable result for Luis Perez Compact 2. The Argentinian is down in 11th, but with 3 drivers ahead not nominated, he's on course to score Munchie's Ford's first manufacturer's point. The leading local driver is Aris Vovos. He's currently 13th in a privately entered Subaru Impreza. On to the final run through the 3.2-kilometre Hippodrome Spectator Super Special stage. First up, we have 7th against 8th, Jan Kopecky against Manfred Stoll. A terrific layout for this circuit, based inside a horse racing track. There's a lot more space, so this is longer and faster than your average Super Special. And the fans packed into the grandstands have responded well to the 2 previous runs through here. Huge jump from Kopecky there. Manfred Stoll has had another frustrating weekend. He's not managed a top 6 finish so far this season. Driving in the all-conquering Citroën Zara, he would have expected more, but will no doubt be confident of improvement in the second half of the year. The next pair of drivers are Henning Solberg and Chris Atkinson. Henning's on course for his 5th top 8 finish of the year. He'll slip behind his brother Petter in the championship race if the positions remain the same, but even so, the Stobart Ford driver will be happy with his weekend's work and no doubt looking forward to the second half of the year. As will former rally leader Chris Atkinson. The impressive pace shown by both Subarus will be a huge boost for the team. Atkinson wins the contest with Henning Solberg, and he looks happy enough at the end of the stage.
Well done. Thank you, Chris. Anyway, that was a very good one. That's already that.
The penultimate lineup sees Atkinson's teammate Petter Solberg up against Mikko Hirvonen. Ever the showman, Solberg will ensure he keeps the crowds entertained. This will only be the Norwegian's 2nd podium finish of the season, and for a proven winner such as Petter, in a car that appears much improved, he'll surely be fighting for the top spot again soon. Petter is sliding the Impreza through the tight confines at this stage. A great display from the Norwegian. Hivenen too seems to be enjoying himself around this unique super special. Mikko and co-driver Jarmo Lehtinen have not finished outside the top 5 all season. Their incredible consistency is set to continue in Greece. And if they can start to take a few more risks later in the season, more victories can surely not be out of the question. But it's Solberg who'll claim the last podium spot, beating Ford's number 2 on the Super Special 2 for good measure.
We made it.
Very good there.
We made it.
Solberg clearly relieved to be back in the top 3 again. Next we have Gronholm against Loeb. First and second in the rally and the championship, and they're racing head-to-head. Marcus Gronholm said that victory in Sardinia gave him back the initiative. His plan was to win here and then in Finland. He's pretty much there on the first half of this ambition, and we know from the record books that he'll be hard to beat on his home event. But Sebastian Loeb can never be underestimated. This man has a rare and special talent. Yes, he slipped up a few times in 2007, but form is temporary, class is permanent. He's already won 4 events this year, and his rivals will know not to discount him. But for now, Marcus is the star. He and Timo Rautiainen have conquered the Acropolis, their 28th career victory. And this also marks a 60th win for Ford, a fantastic achievement for driver, co-driver and team. Team boss Malcolm Wilson there, clearly delighted. And the man who designed the Ford Focus World Rally car, Christian Loriot, looking very emotional.
Marcus, it's a win in Rally Acropolis. You said it was so important to win this one and beat Sebastian to extend that championship lead. You've done it, and you've done it relatively easily with no problems, which is good.
Yeah, we had a good weekend, and the car is very strong, and absolutely, we had no problems. So I'm pleased and happy.
So here's how it finished. Marcus with his 2nd successive victory. Loeb 2nd and Solberg taking 3rd. Heading 5th as he was last year, and Jan Kopecky in the points. That perfect 10 for Gronholm, great for him and Ford in the title races. The team really looking strong, with Mikko also bringing home points, while Danny Sordo failed to score for Citroën.
To be back on podium is very, very good, and especially it's a podium that we deserve. That's first of all, and with the speed we have had the whole weekend, we should have maybe deserved even a higher result, but it's very good, and especially now before the vacation. At least I can have some good feeling and not eat on my nails the whole time for 2 months.
Marcus is really a fast rival, and sometimes he's a bit faster and sometimes me, and it's always a big battle. So okay, we will try to do our best to fight for the championship. He's now leading with 9 points, so we'll have to beat him to try to come back, and we'll see. But no, I think it will be interesting.
It's quite hard to let it all sink in. 6 victories here in 8 years, and this is Ford's 6th World Championship victory. So it's I didn't realise, to be honest, until the end of the rally, but it's obviously it's quite a special moment.
And it's a 9-point lead Marcus will take into the summer break. His total 65 to Loeb's 56 points. Hivenen 7 points back in 3rd, Sordo still 4th, and Petter Solberg 5th. In the Manufacturers' Championship, it's looking good for Ford. 28 points clear at the top. Citroën 2nd, and Subaru have moved back into 3rd. Munchie Sport have their first points. The WRC takes its mid-season break, but we'll be back in August for Marcus Gronholm's home event, Rally Finland, where he's won 6 times, and he'll have the latest evolution of the Ford Focus for the occasion. You'll find a preview on WRC.com. So a 60th win for Ford, a 28th for Marcus. Team and driver top their respective standings. An excellent half-year's work. Have a great summer and join us again in Finland in 2 months' time. But from Greece, it's goodbye.
7 ja oikein hidas, 12 hidas.